Trading family, welcome back. FOMC is one of the best days to trade. At least the most recent one was. I'm going to use the most recent FOMC as a good example of how you can trade news, whether you're a regular trader, if you're a prop trader, how we can account for some of the prop trading rules even on news days, right? Some prop firms won't allow you to have positions, 2 minutes before or after the release of these news events. So what are some ways that we can still trade these days regardless of whatever position we're in, right? News days in general, these tier 1 and tier 2 news events expand the average trading range of the day. If you're new here, my name is Forrest. I invest in stuff, I trade stuff, and it is my goal to help you reach your financial goals. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and if you want a day trading community, check the links down below in the description. The one that is labeled wap.com/tradeedge has a link to our premium Discord where we day trade live every single day. And there's a 7-day free trial. I also have links to all of my favorite prop firms, My Fun and Futures in first place. I have a partnership with them. I am their official YouTuber, and as well as Apex and Purdia, which are other firms that I like. Best discounts are there with those links. I appreciate all the support. Let's get into this week's video. So before we actually hop into the chart, first, there's two problems that we want to solve. One, if you're a prop trader, a lot of prop firms, most prop firms actually don't let you trade the news unless you trade using Purdia. Go ahead and check out my link for Purdia. Call it out again. I love Purdia for this reason. You can trade news explicitly. They explicitly allow you to trade news. Why they do that? Hey, it's completely up to them. Check them out. You get 50% off whatever account you sign up for with code FORCE50. Obviously, if you trade your own account, you can get past this. If you trade your own account, you're going to need full margin requirements. That's the big difference. Okay, prop firms give you that cool, access to leverage. Many different firms, whether it's Trade-Evate, Ninja, Amp Futures, give you lower intraday margin. Webull just released futures trading as well, $2,000 intraday margin. But for news events, most of the time the margin requirements go to full, or they can even go beyond that sometimes, right? These firms are allowed to modify margin at their discretion. So if you're trading your personal account, your own real account, real money, just be aware that news events, your margin requirements will change and don't get smoked, right? Don't get auto liquidated. All that being said, you don't have to trade the actual release of the news. You can trade reactions to it, which is what we're going to talk about in this video. Let's jump into the charts and look at the most recent FOMC. All right, so we are now looking at FOMC. We can see here the range that we really care about is between these two vertical lines. I went ahead and marked the day. I have a bunch of lines on the screen. Doesn't matter too much. Okay, there's a major trend line that we have here on NQ lower. But really for FOMC, there was a few things that we were looking for. So let me turn on the visible range volume profile, which is already on and should be graphing things. Let me return it on. There it is. Okay, so for this day, we'll actually go back in time on the 1 hour and let's look at what the session looks like before those prints. And we're going to look at the volume profile. First and foremost, you can see that we started to reject this major trend. Okay, if we flip our chart over, doing option I, you can see that we're starting to respect this third touch here. Okay, so there's a few reasons to go long here. You can have intuition to go long just on the day or in the session in general. Okay, even before FOMC. But if I'm thinking, what is my upside target here on my chart? Okay, we want to first identify what is the macro trend. Every time you're coming up with a thesis for the day, we have a low, we have a high, okay, we have a low. Well, there's a few ways you can do this. I actually kind of messed that up, right? So we've got a low and then a high, and then a higher low, higher high, higher low, technically another high here, high and low. Okay, so we have higher highs and higher lows, generally speaking. Okay, it's not perfect, which is fine. The market never goes like this. It always zigzags. We can see that it zigzags in different size waves, okay? Like these waves are different. So in this next wave, you got to ask the question, this is the low, then the next high overall somehow is probably going to be above here, okay? Which is going to be really relevant in today's session, but even just for FOMC, you should be thinking, I need to look for a liquidity, a target that is close to a sweep of this area. Well, there's a big LV in here, a low value node right here, okay? We trade these. You can see I already had it marked 815. And I didn't just add this for the video, guys. It's been here for weeks, right? If you look at any of my charts on Discord, you'll see that this 815 level has been marked. Cool. So If we go back into our session, I'm thinking, okay, for data, we're probably going to grind before data, which we did. Okay, we usually grind before data, but as soon as that data candle hit, we hit this level. Now, this is the 1 hour chart, so we can't go long at the release of the data. That's fine, but as soon as we get close to our liquidity target, and we'll just exit bar replay on the 1 hour, as soon as we get close to our liquidity target, we can take a short, right? Because enough time has passed. Enough time has passed. So let's go to the 5 minute, go back to the time span that we care about. And let's actually look at how long this took. So we can see that speaker comes on at 2 o'clock. We saw that there was a huge grind up here, 2:30. Okay, so 2:30, 2:35, we start this trend up. Okay, once we get to, we front ran 8:15 by a few points, and I took a short around here. Okay, like the 760 areas. Okay, the question is, if this is a major LVN and we're going to bounce and it's a day-to-day, it's very often for us to fully reclaim data. So let's look at where POC was on the session. Point of control on the session is down here at 17,487.50. We reject that. So the EV on this, if you're just assuming you were perfect down to POC, is 300 points. 300 points, guys. 300 points playing data after the move, reacting to the move. Okay, so what is the risk on the upside? Let's assume you're wrong. Well, my stop on this is basically just this key level, 8:15. You could even do a little bit past it. But again, if we go back to the 4 hour, okay, 4 hour, get rid of our session volume profile, and let's look at the volume profile here on the 4 hour. We can see right now that there's this major shelf here, but this 8:15 area is still, even now, okay, this LVN here. So you really need to ask yourself, what are the odds that we just crack this, okay, that we just fully crack this LVN without respecting it in some way? Well, we can see here in our session, might be hard to see here because of all the stuff on the charts here, but we respected it. Why is it not drawing my line within this session? Oh, it's because it's inside this bar. Yeah, it's drawing the candle inside of my vertical line. So we'll go back to the 1 hour so we can actually see this. Yeah, so there it is right there. So first touch, it's going to respect it because it's data. It's very common for data to come back to the POC, and it comes back. So let's write down some of our assumptions. 1, what is the major target on macro volume profile? 2, what is a common, I don't know why caps lock is on, what is a common data day narrative? Okay, and by narrative, I mean price action. What is very common for data days? Okay, there's a move, there's a first impulse, and then there's a second impulse. Where does the second impulse come to? Very often on data days, unless you get a continuation, it's going to come back to the start of the move or the POC on the session. Okay, so let's look at where the start of the move and the POC was, and we'll do it on the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, we can see the start of the move is down here, the opening of this candle, 469, and the move in this case is really the big impulse. It's the big outlandish candle. So started here. Wow, the POC is actually also right where it started. So there's a huge skinny belly, huge imbalance in the volume profile here, which also gives us another reason to short into the skinny belly with the default narrative of data. We came close. We actually came into the LVN. Didn't come exactly to the target, but that's fine. This is an area. Came into the LVN. Okay. It's just an easy short. You can do this on any prop firm. Doesn't matter what the rules are. It's a very, very easy data day trade. Okay, and if we go back to the 5 minute again, if we look at the actual holding time for this trade, assuming you shorted at this first touch, which nobody would, but we'll just assume you're perfect, coming all the way back down to the end of the move was 55 minutes, right under an hour of hold time. I just remembered I took this short. I closed at the value area high. It was my first touch. There's a shelf there. And then I re-shorted into the POC. I was like, I might as well get the rest of it. So I actually turned this into 2 trades. Not perfect. Nobody is. Obviously, in retrospect, when we look at these things, we can talk about them perfectly. I don't execute any of my trades perfectly, by the way, but that's fine. That's besides the point. The point is that you can, with practice, get closer and closer to perfect and start to, snag much more of this expected value. Okay. So that's how I would play data on any firm. If you're doing Apex, you could definitely pass. 300 points here, 5 M&Q. You're passing a 50K account, 1 trade, 5 with low leverage. Obviously, you could just do 1 NQ or a little bit higher, and you have a lot of momentum. It's very unlikely to come back into you too much on a move like this. You're going to pass. You pass 5 accounts, 20 accounts, 1 account, which is probably smarter. Personal account, you do a higher lever. make a good amount of money. My funded futures, you know, you're not allowed to trade at the release of the data, but you easily could have made thousands of dollars on the down move, you know, which I did. So there's a ton of different ways, regardless of whatever firm. I know we talked about the different types of firms out there. There's even firms that are, you know, have terrible rules. Honestly, if you trade smart, it won't matter too much. You can still make a ton of money regardless of what the rules are overall. I do want to recap kind of just another thing on the 8-hour that I didn't notice on this session. So let's go to the 8-hour. We just went so far back in time. What is going on here? So on the 8-hour, we'll get rid of these. Get rid of this. There's a few things here. So you'll notice this is another long. This was a beautiful long that we took in the Discord. That was a call out we did. Great trade. So on the 8-hour at this time, okay, I showed the 4-hour earlier, but on the 8-hour, we had this rejection of this area as well. You can actually see it. I don't know why it's taking so long to load, but this candle right here on the 8-hour ended up being a relatively higher volume bottom wick. My bar replay is exploding. Do you want to exit replay mode? Yes. Let's try that one more time. Go to bar replay, go here, give it a second to load. It's probably because it's loading on the volume profile for this session or something. But really the candle that I care about is right here, okay? And you can just see that it's rejecting this on the 8-hour. So these higher time frame signals give us a confidence to hold these bigger trades. So that could have gave us confidence along to the next target, which was 815 area. And then obviously once we hit that area, we short back into the major trend. I don't know why this isn't working. All right, let's just exit that. So we'll do this one more time just for the sake of clarity. So we've got this candle right here, right? Respecting our trend line. The next major upside target is right here, 815. So we get close to that. Boom, boom. Come back to the trend line. Okay, this trade we took in the Discord, we actually cracked the trend line, but we came to the 425 1-hour POC, took that long. And now we're back to where we are in today's session, right? On the macro, right up in this major. And in my previous video, we talked about this area, right? This area that we're in now is a major prior support, okay? I've talked about this in a few videos, but we had the 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4, 5 touch, 6, 7, 8, 9, okay? 10 even down here, huge level. So it's no surprise that we came up to it. And look what we're doing. We're respecting it. We're giving it the respect it deserves. So not surprising at all. And we'll see, you know, my thesis right here, macro, is that we are going to eventually sweep all-time highs, but we have to get through these areas, which means we need to do a strong consolidation here to crack the ceiling or do like an in bounce in some way. So we'll see. It's Friday. I'm recording this video in the middle of the day while the market's open because I'm not really trading today. I had a hot week overall. So very simple and to the point video. I hope you found this useful. If you did, go ahead and subscribe. I hope to see you in the Discord. If you guys have been hitting me up on Instagram, love that. Shooting me DMs, I love that. The best place to find me if you want a fast answer, if you want to talk about trading, is in the Discord. That's where I am every day. That's where I put all of my trading thoughts, efforts. If you hit me up elsewhere, turnaround's going to be slower. I'll say that. Nonetheless, I appreciate each and every one of you. The channel's been growing like crazy. I put a lot of time and effort into these videos, between writing, filming, editing, getting them out. And I do not take for granted the fact that you guys could watch any video and you're watching mine. So I love that. I appreciate it. I'm here to help you that the best I can. And I hope to see you join our Discord family. Nonetheless, my name's Forrest. I invest in stuff. I trade stuff. See you in the next video. Peace.